Hello everyone, my name is Rockboy2000, and welcome to a Let's Play of Withering Rooms. Now, the reason why I wanted to play Withering Rooms, or make this like the first ever Let's Play on my channel, is because of one reason. It's October, and I think that it's honestly a perfect game to play through the whole entire game. Now, what we're doing is... It's gonna just repeat. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be trying to get to the true ending of the game. I will explain that in further details when we're playing through the game. But just note that Withering Rooms is a horror-like 2D side-scroller game. And it's randomly generated, so we won't... Like, if you're playing along with me, it won't be the same as my end unless you copy the seed, but I'll get that into further details. But for now, let's start Withering Rooms. Okay, so here we are. We are locked in a room. Thank you, tutorial. Okay. Just getting my bearings here. So, some items can be interacted with A. Okay. So if you want to run, it's right bumper or R1 on the controller. Just give me a quick second to check the control scheme. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Just wanted to... Cool, no tools. I just wanted to make sure that the audio was good on my end, just so it's not blaring. So yeah. So right bumper or R1 is to sprint. I don't know the control on keyboard. And the circle/B button is to dodge roll. This is going to be very important later on. But for now, let's try seeing where we're trying to go. A corpse in a cage. It's blocking a hole in the wall. Some furniture can be used to hide. When close, press Y to hide. Stay hidden until the monster passes by. So, a little bit of context for that. Yep. Every one of these is... Oh, you press X whenever it says typeface to transfer between the original font and a little bit of easier font. I'll be keeping it at this unless if I can't read it for some random reason. Patient Nightingale Williams, age 15, symptoms pending. Most of the other ones are different with, like, epilepsy, inappropriate behavior, headaches, and other stuff. There's a keyhole on the front. I wonder what to use that for. When we're near a door, we can press Y to peek. Okay, just 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just needed to do something quickly. In case if you are watching without headphones, don't worry, I got you covered. So, seems like the way is open.
Where am I?
There's a key to his back. This part could be
Albert.
scary.
Why am I still here? Priscilla?
The gatehouse key. Now, so the little arrow on the bottom right, that's basically, I turn it on in the settings just for anyone who's not watching with headphones to understand where certain enemies are coming from. This game is best enjoyed with headphones. And
Lord Mostyn
I haven't
like this.
played with headphones yet, so. This is where we want to go. So these little white sigils above the doorway, they are safe havens, so no enemies can spawn here, which is very nice. Red wax. Useful ingredient. You look lost. First time in the dream? I'm Becca. I'm afraid you stumbled into something you probably shouldn't have. We're having a sort of celebration to welcome a new member of our little club. You see, we're witches. In the dream waking world, there's no magic, but here, magic is real. I'm sure it's all terribly confusing. You need to go talk to the first witch. She's our leader. You'll find her up ahead by the fireplace. Just answer any questions she has truthfully, and I'm sure everything will be fine. Oh, and feel free to grab a slice of cake. It's delicious. I wonder what she means by that. You're not supposed to be here. Are you patient here at the Mostyn Private Asylum? Well, we are Nightingale, I said it in the intro, so yeah. Did you come from the gatehouse? I mean, if that area was the gatehouse, then yeah. You made it all the way here with no assistance. Well, we did. No one helped us through. Well, except for me, so. Yeah. Dang it, I knew it. Liar! If you answered no to any of those questions, you would have instantly got burnt. And here we are with chapter 1. Okay. Well, this is the safe area. A cleaver. It's a weapon. Search the eggs. Search the room for an exit. We can hide here. It's locked. So any doors that are locked, you can't peek behind. That's a rule of thumb in this game, just for reference. So... I'm terribly sorry if I frighten you, appearing like that. I like to observe new arrivals to make sure they are not violently deranged before allowing them out of their rooms. I am Margaret Blackett. Yeah. I should share administration of this asylum with my father, Dr. Robert Blackle. Your name is Nightingale, isn't it? Let me first deeply apologize to you for being set on fire as soon as you arrived here. I assure you the responsible party has been severely reprimanded. I'm not familiar with your case history, but you may be wondering if this is all a delusion. I can assure you it is not. You've been drawn into a phenomenon unique to the Mostyn House. It's sort of a dream or nightmare. Weeks will pass here during a single night in the real world. I'm sure you'll have questions. I'll answer as best I'm able. The methodology for waking up here from the dream is not well understood. Some wake with ease, only with a vague memory of what occurred here. Others are trapped here indefinitely, their comatose bodies slowly rotting in the real world. Dying here in the dream provides no release. You will simply awake anew. Keep that in mind. Will be awakened anew. As those trapped in the dream rot in the real world, they turn into deranged living corpses here. Unfortunately, the dream accumulates more such unpleasant residents each year. As such, it's critical that you avoid attention until you are properly armed with tools to defend yourself. While dying here in the dream is a temporary affair, the experience is still horrible, so you must be prepared and be careful. Well, we saw magic, so let's talk about that. In order to invisibly observe you earlier, I used a spirit twig. Simply by snapping the twig in my hands, I'm able to briefly move about as if I were a phantom. In the real world, magic is the providence of charlatans. But remarkably, in the dream, magic is real, as we just saw with being lit on fire. I am a novice magic user. You'll want to seek out the filthy wretch to learn more. Oh, that's all. I'll let you explore them. The mansion reconfigures itself each night, but you should be able to find me in the study easily enough. I'll leave you with this key to the room and make my exit a different way. Oh, and Nightingale. Don't be discouraged if you die. As you have already seen, it's only temporarily. It stands to preserve, but death truly is the greatest teacher. See you around. We got a new quest. If you press the pause button, it will bring you to this menu. Here we can see our melee weapons, which is just a cleaver, keys, a map, and stats controls and other notes. So we need to find the filthy wretch, and we also need to meet Margaret in the study. But yeah, as mentioned before, each night, if you die, you basically wake up the next night. Thanks, game, for telling me about the pause menu. But as told, it reconfigures each night, so every single time you die, the mansion will be different as it was. So keep that in mind. Okay. Blank scrolls. A piece of parchment perfect for crafting a spell. We found 4. Nice. In the morning, the city had 8 princes, 11 bishops, 5 scholars. They were sculptors. Next, 2 sculptors drank the poison. Bisected each sculptor. Vivisected 2 bishops, then 3 princes drove knives into their chest. I wonder what that means. combination. So this is a first clue. It will be different each and every night that you come here on every other playthrough. So yours might be different than mine. So we basically have to do math. Don't worry about that. So on the left to the right, it's princes, bishops, and sculptors. So 2 sculptors trying poison, that would be 3 sculptors. So each sculptor, so 3 vivisected or killed 2 bishops. So 11 bishops. So 3, that'd be 6. 6 bishops. So 11 minus 6, that's 5. So, and then 3 princes drove knives into their chest. So for my combination, it's 5, 5, 3. The occult library key. Key to enter the occult's library. You need this in order to meet Margaret. And yellow wax. Hooray. And a spirit twig. Change the current held item. Press the pause menu. And you can go to tools. Alternatively, if you press L1, you can make a Hot Wheel. Which is kind of nice. So you can change it on the fly without opening your menu. Very handy. I should close the door. In the early stages of this game, it's best to hide and avoid
So much fit.
conflict. The reason for it is I actually did not know that if you leave the door open. That's interesting. A holy candle, the warding candle. This will be useful later on. We don't want to go there. More spirit twigs. And at any moment you find a spirit twig and you're in trouble, use the spirit twig. It basically... Ooh, strange coins. Nice. It basically grants you invincibility at a cost. I'll get into that in a little bit more. And we found the library. Any lore that I don't read, you can just freely pause the video and read it for yourself. Unless you want me to read. In that case, I will read. Let me know in the comments. The creepy doll. And we found another spirit twig. Wonder what this is. Telling about spirits. Any single time I mention a note, just... it's foreshadowing. I wasn't expecting you to see you so soon. I believe you'll do well in the dream. Let me give you a little gift. This is an old ring of mine. If you die here in the dream, you lose most of your items. Some are blessed like this ring. You will survive from night to night. You can ask about that. About her relationship. You can ask about the dream, which was earlier. But let's take a look at that ring first. Margaret's ring, an elegant ivory ring worn by Margaret Blackett, co-administrator of the Mostyn Private Asylum. It gives us plus 10 max health and 25 bleeding resistance. And unlike it, she mentioned that this ring was blessed. As seen on the icon right here, the ring has a little stamp icon on it. Anytime that is, it will come, or it'll be saved from night to night. There's only another way to save our items. Yeah, let's ask her about her relationships with her father. My father is Dr. Robert Blackett, famed American physician turned Welsh asylum owner. Have you heard of the composer Johann Sebastian Bach? He is my father's favorite. Bach was given a near impossible task by King Frederick of Prussia. A devised the complement to a complicated melody on the spot. You see, King Frederick loved to humiliate visitors to his court in this way, by having them fail at something they were supposedly excellent at. Bach completed the task, much to the amazement of everyone in the room. When I first started learning how to play the piano at the age of 8, my father gave me the same challenge. In fact, he gave me that same challenge for every day for 4 years. When finally I learned enough counterpoint to complete the challenge, he congratulated me for taking 4 years to manage what Bach had done in a single night. My father always aspired to match the achievements of his heroes. He just never realized that his hero was really King Frederick, not Bach. What about your mother? I never knew my mother. I was born in China in the wake of the Second Opposing War. My father said she died in childbirth, but I'm not sure. I believe him. I don't think it matters much. The only thing my mother gave me was this face, which was not always an asset growing up in England. What about the future? My father wishes to pursue a full-time study of the dream. As such, I'll become the only administrator of the asylum. As for the dream, who can say? It has existed for at least 18 years. I suspect it will be with us forever. I only hope my father's research will find a way to banish these wretched living corpses. And that's all that we know. So, we know that Margaret's father is kinda obsessed. And also gives us challenges. Not much on that. But we still have one more thing. Find the filthy wretch. Okay. So the filthy wretch can spawn in the occult library, I think. Oh, it's an important place. Painting gallery. You remove the cover of the mirror. I mean, no harm in doing so, right? A dull silver ring. Scuffed old silver ring. Receive 30 less spell toll. Savior ring. An ancient Byzantine ring. Any damage received to the wearer has a chance to be halved. The scales with luck. So, who are you? Spectacular, isn't it? Good evening. I'd introduce myself, but people don't generally wear masks if they want their identity to be known. I have been here so long as I can remember who I was previously anyways. I've no longer the patience to beat back the ever-growing throngs of animated corpses in this house. As such, I have become something of a merchant. I traffic in all sorts of goods. My inventory is always changing. What's good is gold in this nightmare? A coin is a favor saved for later. We could talk about him, but he is our first merchant. Let's see what he has. Ooh! Well, there's a good item I like. I like its inventory. I do. We'll be back for that later. And we'll ask questions later as well.
Who is this now?
Ah, crap. In situations like this, it's best to run. Unless you have a first aid kit. In that case, it's totally worth it to fight it. Okay, don't... It's locked. You didn't see me. Please tell me you didn't see me. Oh, you did. Okay. So, as seen on the top right, besides taking a little bit of damage. Okay, fine. A bandage and a corrupted finger. Charlotte. Charlotte did always like to help in the kitchen, didn't she? Well, Ponzer's chest 1. Thank you for purchasing Ponzer's chest. It looks like it's a weird chestology. Before we explain how each unit operates, you'll need to understand some terminology. Perception. As perception increases, the unit can see spirits from a further distance and detect increasingly sophisticated hexes and illusions. Poise. Units with higher poise are less likely to be stunned or knocked down. Speed increases action speed. And luck indicates finding rare or expensive items. If we look at our stats, it's the same thing. Perception, poise, speed, and luck. And coin discovery. So, this note is actually very useful. It's basically telling you what is going on, but I will basically mention only poise. Poise is the same thing like in Darksouls. If you know how that works, it's less like you can take damage and still go through the attack, almost like hyper armor, until your poise breaks. Good evening. I would like to... I would like to take this pipe. The reason for it, personally for me, this pipe, a lot of damage and is a heavy weapon. And I like it a lot. Too much. In fact, get here. Yeah. The masked man does sell different weapons. I think he sells, besides the candlestick, what the frick? Empty jar and a little wretch. The filthy wretch has found a way to animate his creepy little dolls. Well, we found more coins from him. No thank you. If you see that guy with the gun, don't go into there. Wonder why that painting moved. So, scone in a pottery shard. So yeah, the description for that pottery shard is said that it's loud, about as loud as running footsteps. This is a distraction item. Same with the creepy doll. You can lure certain enemies, or I think all enemies, with the dolls and pottery shards. And such, I don't really... Oh, this is actually the proper room that we have to go to. I don't really like to use these, but again, feel free to experiment yourself. This is the occult library. More spirit theory and practice. rise to our dream. How exciting! I don't have a name exactly, but most folks around here call me the Filthy Wretch. I consider myself a tutor of sorts in the occult arts. You seem like you would make a fine student. But before we get started, a small request which might find a bit off-putting. I'd like you to bring me a crafted finger, freshly clipped from one of the undeads. Now, don't look scandaled. You don't even know what it's for. Well, disgusting, first of all. I suggest targeting one of the sleeping enemies. I appreciate this an unusual and difficult request, but I assure you, in the end, the results will be worth it. Well, I mean, we already have a corrupt finger. Exactly. I won't ask you where you got it. Yeah, you better not. Now, what I'd like you to do is eat the finger. No. Just kidding, people. You nasty, bro. Such body parts are a valuable commodity with many use in the dream as in life. You see that stone shrine in this room? A curious ancient thing. Place the finger into the basin to activate it. It will help you remember items you might otherwise have forgotten each night. You find shrines like these throughout the mansion. Just as no two people are alike, so are the shrines. Each one will require a different offering to activate. Each new shrine you activate will allow you to remember one additional item. You turn to me once you've activated the shrine people. So yeah, like he said. Oh yeah, you drawing on your scribbled board, cool. As he said, we can remember each thing. Table for wax, cool. So, the Night Mother remembers, we are her bricks and blood is her mortar. A finger, one item remembrance slot. So, this is the fun part that is so unique to this game. You can only remember as many items as you have activated shrines. And like the Filthy Wretch said, unlike in real life where two people are exact, same here. So meaning, if you come back here another night after when you died, you won't be able to activate it for another remembering. This is a very unique way to manage your weapons that you can remember. But there is another way how we can remember a little bit more items than just, you know, one item. There are many in the mansion. And such. I will be trying to point them all out. Our next lesson will be the casting of spells. You may be skeptical about the existence of magic in the real world, but no, there's no doubting its power in a dream. Hold this blue scroll, focus your attention on the seal, and imagine breaking while you wave your hand over it. The seal will break and the magic energized contained will consume the scroll and escape. The blue scroll is a protection spell, giving you an invisible suit of armor that will absorb a few hits before dissipating. Now there is a price, however. Using magic will cause one to be slightly cursed. The effects are numerous. Grain of the skin and increased awareness of paranormal activity nearby. Next, strange and horrific sights previously hidden will reveal themselves. Everyone has a tolerance for being cursed, which exceeds leads to a rather rapid internal rotting process. In that case, use a warding candle immediately to reduce your cursedness. Enough rattle. Give a spell a try and see me when you're ready to learn more. Alright. At the top right is our curse meter. As I wasn't mentioning that earlier. It basically is our curse tolerance. If we waver over it, our curse tolerance becomes more and more. As such, you will see the world begin to shift. Like grain of the skin and other horrific activities. This is a good way, I'll mention it in a little bit, probably in the next episode, but it's a good way to quote-unquote recover lost items. I'll mention that once we get to that. To craft your own spells, you need a grimoire. It so happens I have an extra beginner's grimoire you may have. You can use that table over there to create your spells. Here's a blank scroll. You'll also need to find some wax. Come see me when you're done. So now we have another way to use our resources. The door hex spell is... You place the hex on a door. Anyone who opens it will be engulfed in a cloud of cursed energy. The effect lingers for several seconds. The armor spell is what the spell had. Adds 25 armor, maximum up to 100, but also curses us. And then the dummy spell summons a lifelike dummy of the caster, which will attract the enemy's attention until it's destroyed. So, just going off practical notes, the door hex spell is good for deceiving certain enemies. I'll mention that a little bit later. Armor spell is a great one to find, or like to have in your back pocket. And the dummy spell, it's basically... It's good to draw aggro off of you. So, we can make our first two. As such, it requires spell toll. I'll tell you everything I can for now. To continue studies in the cult, you need to find the first switch in the basement. Here's the east stairway key. Before heading down there, you might want to talk to Margaret. She mentioned needing something from down there. You warned that someone has tampered with the gas pipes in the basement. All the lights are out. And the basement is not somewhere you want to be without a light. Yes, thanks, game. There's an underground passage. Sure. Tactics. This basically tells you what to use. It's just here. That will be very useful. In this mirror, Moonless Formless paths connect the past and present. Light this candle to open a path. So long as you don't leave this room, death will return you to this moment. Repeat. What this is, we get a new status effect called Remember. Remembered is basically when you die, you will be here, and it doesn't progress the night. You won't lose anything. This is basically a combat training. Sorry. We'll hide when we're in combat. That's the attack. Whenever he stomps his feet. So, whenever he stomps his feet, hide under something. As such, I'm gonna die. Body and you get blue wax and a poison antidote. Basically, you get a lot of good stuff if you can kill the guy. And coming here, if you die, again, you won't lose anything. But yeah, certain attacks you have to hide behind in order to defend yourself. Otherwise, you will be stun locked and won't be able to do anything. So I think the yeah, this area is not safe anymore. So, let's go back to not the study, the painting gallery. Because I want to grab the candlestick from our masked friend here. So the guy can sell first aid kits. Excuse me. Guy can sell first aid kits, but we want to get this princess candlestick. Might as well just get just so I can use. So, perception is basically the reality of this world, and the candlestick is the tool. As mentioned, I wasn't mentioning it till now. It does indicate curse damage to the caster. That's spell toll. The dull silver ring basically negates magic, or magic penalty damage. Also the evasion codex, an incantation recite while dodging, it briefly transforms the caster into a spirit, rendering them impervious to all attacks. It's basically, if you played Cuphead, it's basically Smoke Bomb. But perception is basically the reality of how we view the world, with grain of the skin. So, get too much, you become slowly cursed, and the room begins to change. The reason why it's called the Withering Rooms. But mirrors open up a giant hole. Enter a portal to nowhere? Let's see. Nowhere. Cool. Oh, now you look familiar. I suppose not. Haven't had a visitor in a while. And I guess I'm overexcited. My name is Rose. Don't remember much else but my first name, so that will have to do. Don't take this the wrong way. But you seem like the type of girl who carries a lot of junk she doesn't need. Am I right? I love junk. It's the only thing keeping me sane in this starry purgatory. Well, somewhat sane. Better than Mr. Photographs over there, at least. I have a heaping amount of coins, so if you have any extra items, I'll happily take them off your hands. Basically a way to sell items that we don't need for extra coin. But here we have Mr. Photographs, a new arrival. It's been a while. I'd like to introduce myself, but I'm afraid I've forgotten who I was. So, one visitor gave me the horrific name, Lord Nobody of Nowhere. We'll just be saying Lord Nobody. I quite like that title. I'm afraid to find out who I was before. Perhaps I wasn't a good person. I still faintly remember things, smells, tastes, and uncanny sense of having seen something before. That's why I enjoy photographs. They bring back so many feelings. Have you ever used a camera? It's quite simple, really. If you like, I have a beautiful antique camera for sale. I'd like to give you for free, but I need coins. You see, I cannot leave this place. So I purchased photos from budding photographers such as yourself. As such, you'll be able to make back the purchase price of a camera in no time, I'm sure. He has the camera for 5 coins. It's a permanent tool. And also he has some armor and a Bible for some reason. Actually, if you have enough coins right now, buy the camera. The reason for it is simple. Now we are better acquainted, I have something for you. Pick the perfect look from a giant pile of outfits and rings takes time. To instantly recall your best ensemble, you should write it down on this fashion record. I used to have more records, but I've given them all out. Maybe you'll find them. Multiple records means multiple different looks at your fingertips. Fashionable young women like us need all the help we can get. The fashion records are interesting, to say the least. We'll mention it once we have more armor, but essentially it's a save. It's like a loadout save. I will be vague with it for right now until we have a good loadout. Just remember that if you have anything that you have remembered, it is a good idea to have it saved in a fashion record. I'll mention that a little bit later. Floating mirror. Cool. Another blood altar, and we need 1 coin. One more item remembrance slot, definitely useful. And I'm gonna use the apprentice candlestick. Reason for it, I like to have items that I like to have at my fingertips, and this causes a spell toll, which is something we'll need to enter here. I think I need 1 more coin. Yeah, I need 1 more coin. Hold on a second. So the pottery shard because I don't need it. So, let's buy that camera. Say, since you have a camera, I have a favor to ask. My photo collection is sorely lacking of photos of the supernatural variety. Sell me a photo of a spirit, and I'll throw in an exciting extra gift. They normally can be only seen when you're cursed, but you can take a picture of them anytime. I wonder what he means by that. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, guys. This is just part 1 of Withering Rooms. As such, I hope you like it and enjoy. And yeah, when we return, we'll figure out where or how to find the first witch, and also possibly maybe take a photograph of a ghost. But yeah, until then, guys, remember, stay classy.